Okay, I actually really don't know how to start this. I've never done any sort of YouTube video or anything before, but I'm Callie. I recently lost 20 kg in the last 10 months, and I done a few TikToks about it, and I got like a really overwhelming amount of messages asking for like a more in-depth video on how I lost the weight, why I lost the weight. And I was contemplating doing a YouTube video, and then my sister-in-law, bless her, she FaceTimed me and she was like, look, like, you need to do a YouTube video, you could help people, like, you know, it'll give people inspiration. And she was really sweet about it. So I thought, do you know what, I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, I don't know how to edit videos or anything, so this is just going out like completely uncut or anything, so I'm hoping I can just get it all out in one. But also wanted to start by saying I'm not a qualified professional. I am currently in training to be a weight loss coach, but I'm not qualified, so this is just my personal experience, and if anyone can gain any inspiration from this or motivation, then I've done a good job. So to start off, what made me want to lose the weight? About 2 years before I had my daughter, I was in like really bad habits in terms of I'd split up with my ex-boyfriend and moved out. I'd moved out of the apartment that we were living in and moved back into my nan's. I say back into my nan's, I moved into my nan's because my mum and dad's home was being sold because they were buying a bungalow, because they were downsizing, because they didn't think that I'd be back. So that was a bit of a news to them. But yes, I lived at my nan's for 4 or 5 months. And I was drinking, so I'm just gonna be completely honest here, I was binge drinking every single night on my own in my bedroom at my nan's. I would consume a bottle, sometimes 2 bottles of Echo Falls. I met my current partner, well, we met at school, but we started talking like through lockdown, and he says now, he's like, I didn't know how to tell you that you had a problem with drinking, but he was like, it wasn't my place, like, we'd just started talking, you know, it's whose place is it to say that? But he was like, you definitely did have a problem. Because I'd ask him, oh, can you bring round like 2 bottles of wine with you, or like Echo Falls? And obviously wine is very high in calories, and obviously binge drinking isn't good in general, so that was where I piled the weight on. I was also eating takeaways all the time, because this was before I started cooking. This is really off topic, but the only reason I really got into cooking is through my fiance, because I have never had someone so appreciative of a meal that I've cooked. So I remember cooking him curry like the first time, and it was the most basic curry. It was out of a jar. And obviously he works long hours, so he'd come home to like a home cooked meal and he'd be like, oh my god, thank you so much, like, you're so amazing, this is so nice. And I was like, boy, I am cooking for you more. So that was how I got into cooking. But yeah, that was off topic. Anyway, so I got to a point where I was like eating really unhealthily, drinking all the time. It was making me feel really bad. Also, obviously then I got pregnant with my daughter. Obviously stopped drinking, but I was still eating really bad. Although pregnancy made me crave fruit. Like, I was craving fruit, but I just ate a load of SHIT as well. Which is what I do differently if I got pregnant again. I'd obviously, like, I'd try and be a bit healthier next time. But they always say, like, pregnancy is the one time where you can just eat what you want, so I just took that a bit to the extreme. But after having my daughter, again, I'm being really completely honest, I started editing my photos, and I was editing them to the point where I was looking like a different person. I'd slim myself down, I would face up myself, which is now why I'm on this huge like journey to being more natural. Like, I don't edit my pictures, I don't even put filters on myself anymore, because it it's toxic. It makes you think that the natural version of yourself is ugly or isn't up to standard, when that's not the case. But yeah, so I'm just on a journey of being more natural. But that is why I wanted to lose the weight, because I was looking in the mirror and I was like, it's not adding up to what you're posting on Instagram, babe. Not being funny, like you don't like that girl. And I wouldn't leave the house, and that was one of the main reasons why. I'd only leave the house if I was with my partner, and then still he'd be going into the shop, I'd be sitting in the car, because I'm like, if someone sees me and like they have me on Instagram or whatever, they're gonna think, what on earth has she done? What on earth is this? So I just stay in the car. But obviously it's weird, because I wanted to post photos of me and my daughter, and I wanted to post photos of me and my partner, but I wasn't comfortable with how I looked. So I just thought, oh, the best option to do is to just slim myself down instead of losing the weight. But yeah, that was one of the reasons why. And also I wanted to keep my energy levels up for my daughter, because when I started this whole weight loss journey, she was just turning 1. And she was walking she took her first steps at 8 months. The girl's crazy. So I just had a moment where I thought to myself, if we're going outside and she runs off, sorry, I'm not catching her. Like, there's no chance I'm catching her. She's running off and she's gone. Like, because I will be out of breath with my inhaler 20 seconds, like every 20 seconds. So that's another reason. And I wanted like a better life for myself. I didn't want to be binge drinking all the time. I'm not sober now, that I still enjoy a drink, but it's like once a month now. And when I do drink, I'm always like, oh my god, I regret drinking. Not to say you can't drink, but just in moderation. Like, obviously, when I was binge drinking, it was really unhealthy for me. How did I start losing the weight? So I downloaded Nutricheck Calorie Counter. It's similar to MyFitnessPal. Both of them work. It's just I find Nutricheck easier to navigate. But yeah, plain and simple is you need to be in a calorie deficit. So I put my goal weight, my current weight, height, everything into this app, and when I wanted to lose it by, like what time scale roughly, and it gives you an amount of calories that you should be eating, and it's healthy for you to eat and still lose the weight, obviously being in a calorie deficit, which is one big thing. Like, I tell people, because I don't really agree with diet trends, and I'm not slating anyone that does it. It didn't work for me. I done Slimming World. I can't remember the other one that I done, but I done Slimming World, and I piled the weight back on twice as much afterwards. So I feel like a lifestyle change, I don't use the word diet, I just use the word lifestyle change, because that's what it is. And like, when you say diet, it's always negative, like, oh, you're on a diet. No, I'm just eating healthier. So yeah, downloaded Nutricheck, used that, and that actually gave me a lot of knowledge on foods, like what calories are in what ingredients, and that like helped me along the way. Like, now I have a lot more knowledge on food and what goes into my body, and it made me think, like, I look back and I think, oh my god, like when I was cooking before, they were so high calorie, like so many calories, and you just don't even realize it. Sorry, by the way, I'm not very well. I'd also, people ask me about exercises. I would just go for walks, like at the beginning. Down to my own insecurities, I wouldn't run. I mean, I couldn't run at the start, let's be honest, but I didn't want to get into running because I was insecure about people seeing me running, and, you know, what I'd look like running and all the silly stuff. So I'd just gone short walks that increased then long walks. And people don't talk about how good walking is for weight loss. It's so helpful. You don't need to be running marathons to lose weight. Plain and simple, you just need to be moving your legs. And I mean, more of it is food. Like, without exercise, you can still lose weight from being in a calorie deficit. It's all down to food, but obviously exercise helps you burn calories as well. So I'd go for walks, and then I started doing home workouts. So I'd put in on YouTube downstairs a Courtney Black home workout on YouTube, or you can find loads of them on there. But sorry, my fiance has just texted me, not boyfriend. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I put a home workout on downstairs, and my nan gave me her yoga mat because my nan was more fit than me, and she probably still is. Like, she is a cracking woman. She can outrun me. But yeah, so I do that, and then I've only just recently started getting into the gym and running, and that's purely because I've lost the weight now and I want to build muscle, and I want to be stronger. But I always say to everyone that messages me that wants to go to the gym, like actually really wants to go to the gym, please go to the gym. I wish I'd gone to the gym like at the start, because no one's looking at you, I promise. I was in a mindset of like, oh my god, everyone's going to look at me and people are going to talk about me to their friends, like as if I was some pop star that people were going to talk about. But that's what I was like, and I was really, really insecure. And now I've started going to the gym, I look at people and I'm like, you could have been in the position that I was in 10 months ago. Like, this is not me being big-headed, but some people might look at me in the gym and be like, oh my god, like she works out, you know, she's got her ish together. But you didn't see me 10 months ago when I wouldn't leave the house, and when I was like, you know, heavy and uncomfortable and overweight and insecure. So everyone has a story. I promise you, everyone's there for the same reason that you are. That's if you want to go to the gym. You don't have to go to the gym to lose weight, but you know. What else was I going to say? First 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks of being in a calorie deficit, trying to lose weight, being on a weight loss journey, they are the hardest, and I say that from experience. Some people have messaged me saying, oh, you know, I'm at week 2 or at week 1, I can't do it, like I'm just gonna give up. You know, I'm really, really struggling. And mentally it is really, really hard. You're going to crave the foods that you were eating, you're going to want more, you're going to want to give up, because also in them 2 weeks you're not seeing results. Like, you're not looking in the mirror and being like, oh my god, I've lost loads of weight. It's like when people say like, oh, when you go to the gym and you do an ab workout and then you don't have a 6-pack of abs. Like, it's the whole reality of it. But it is really hard. Also, why I'd suggest taking progress pictures. Even if you're not going to look at them right at the start. I remember I just set my phone up and put it on countdown, like the timer thing, and take photos of myself, would never look back at them until like a couple of months later, and I was like, oh, I'm in a good place now, I can look at them. And then I'm like, oh my god, that gives me so much more motivation to carry on. So I definitely suggest progress pictures. But just keep going. After the 2 weeks, I promise it gets easier. You'll get into a habit, and you'll feel better from it. So just keep going. You'll get there. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Oh, another thing that I always say to people is like, that have messaged me about like a weight loss journey and stuff like that, and they're like, oh my god, like, I just can't get this chocolate bar out of my head, like I'm craving this bar of dairy milk, it's sat on the side, or my partner's just sat there eating a Chinese and I want a chicken ball, that's all I want. Eat it. Like, just eat it, get it out of your head, because if not, you're going to sit there, you've not satisfied your craving, and then the next day you're going to end up eating a big chocolate cake, or, you know, a big 4-person worth box of Chinese takeaway. So just eat the bar of chocolate. I promise a bar of dairy milk is not going to do any damage. And you can still fit it into your calories. Like, I like having a sweet treat once a day. And I'll usually have like either a penguin bar or Kit Kat, like stuff like that. Like, I have to have that, because if not, I'll end up like going off the rails. Also, your meals don't have to be boring for them to be low in calorie. I say this as an example. Before I started losing the weight, I would eat fajita pasta. That was a big dish for me and my partner. Like, we love fajita pasta. And I'd always use, well, I mean, in any pasta dish, I'd always use like double cream, sometimes even two tubs of double cream, like the 2 pots of double cream. They're so high in calories. And I'd use like extra mature cheese. Like, I'd use all the heavy fat ingredients. And I didn't even realise at the time. I'm like, oh, that can't be that much. Like, surely it's a pot of cream, but it can. and now I replaced it with 0% fat creme fraiche, and I either use like protein cheese or I use the 30% yeah, 30% lighter cheese, and that brings it down in calories so much, and it still tastes the same. Like, bear in mind, my partner isn't on a weight loss journey. He still thinks it tastes the same as before, if not better. Doesn't give you that like bloated feeling afterwards after eating it. So it's only just replacing ingredients. You don't have to have boring meals. Like, you can still eat really, really good food. Like, me and my partner are really, like, we're foodies, so that's coming from me. So yeah, that is all I got wrote down. I don't think I've missed anything. But the moral of the story is I'm kind of just hoping to inspire people or motivate people. I'm obviously currently training to be a weight loss coach, which I just feel like I was meant to do. Ever since being on this journey, like, I've always, when I was younger, I was like, oh, everyone else knew what they wanted to do as a job, and I just never knew. And now I just feel like, what a perfect opportunity to start doing this, because I have so many messages, and like, I've already helped like quite a few people like get out of plateaus, like people that have messaged me on TikTok, and I just feel like I was born to do this. May sound really sad, but I do feel like that. Sorry. But yeah, if anyone wants to message me or anything like that, my messages are always open. I will reply. If I can help in the tiniest way, I will. But I promise, if you are on a weight loss journey, you can do it. Don't give up. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, anyone, I get comments on my TikTok saying like, oh my god, I wish I had your willpower. You do. Everyone does. You just got to like tap into it a bit. Like, trust me, I've been on loads and loads of diets before, but it's a lifestyle change now, and I finally got to a place where I'm really, really happy. So if you want to feel the way I feel, just carry on doing it. I promise you have the motivation to do it within yourself. But yeah, I'm hoping this helps.